All right, gang, welcome back to our Island Preservation Challenge here on Ronida Island. It is now August. We've got to pick up, or clean up, I guess I should say, our harvesters that we did not do at the end of the last episode, even though I said we were going to do that. We did not do that, so we're going to pick these up now and put these back where they belong. And then once we're done with that, we've got a couple things to do today. One, we obviously need to plow this field up and then get some oilseed radish in this field. And then our oilseed radish field over there, far, far distance over there, is ready to I say ready to harvest. It is technically ready to harvest, but it is ready to be plowed up and have an actual crop put into the ground. So that is our main objectives and goals today. And we'll see what else we can get into. How's everyone doing? Hope you're doing well. Things are good, man. Things are good. I heard recently that my buddy Crestu just recently finished his knee surgery. Sounds like everything went to plan relatively well, but I think he's struggling a little bit with some of the pain and the meds and everything that he's on, so I feel bad for him, but hopefully he gets through that quickly. I've been on medicine before where it gives you a lot of nausea, and that seems to be what he's kind of dealing with right now. Is that he's got a lot of pain because of the knee surgery that he had, and then if he takes the medicine, it makes him nauseous, right? So which one do you want more? Do you want to deal with the pain more, or do you want to deal with feeling like you're going to get sick all the time? That's a tough decision, right? It's a tough decision to make. I don't know. I was telling him, part of me, I would want to just maybe get drunk and get rid of the pain that way, but although the pain's still going to be there even if you're drunk, though. But if you get drunk enough, you may not feel anything anymore, right? So anyway, it was just more of a joke than anything, but yeah, I feel bad for him. So hopefully everything goes well and he starts feeling better here soon. But at least the surgery went well, right? He's out of the surgery now and he's in the recovering stage, so that's a good thing. A couple other things to note. A lot of you actually have mentioned, about doing the bridge for the dream home over on the island, and a couple recent comments I saw said that it is actually possible for you to pull some of the ground over to that island. So I had tried it before and it didn't work, so I decided, you know what, I'm going to try it again. And it actually does work. I'm very surprised. It is very finicky, though, but it does work. You have to kind of pull from the edge of the sand and then slowly pull out from there with like a leveling stage and just level it across the land. But if you get too close to the water with that leveling circle, then it all of a sudden will say no longer able to do so. Access denied or something like that, right? So that's probably what I was getting the first time, and I didn't really try, at a very slow pace, pulling it out piece by piece. Maybe I should have, but yeah, so we're going to be able to do it. So I will let Crestu know about that as well, that, it is possible, because he's on PC and I'm on console, as we all know. A lot of you also mentioned that I definitely need to just spend the money and get a PC for Farming Simulator. I think you're correct. I do. I really do need to. Soon. Maybe in the near future here. Maybe we'll focus on that. Now, I do have a PC as it currently stands. Of course I have a PC because I have to do all the editing on the PC, right? But, I think my PC, honestly, it probably could run this. It really could. But it's not the greatest quality. Let's put it that way. My PC's, it's not outrageously old, but it's old compared to nowadays standards. And the big problem that I'm seeing right now, that I'm dealing with right now, is that memory is just so expensive right now. Now, you could say, well, I could take some memory out of the one I have now. Well, I could, but honestly, what I would likely do with the PC that I have now, if I was to upgrade that to something else, is sell this PC. Maybe I take out one of the sticks of RAM there. Maybe I do that, but still, I would probably, because this PC itself only came with one stick of RAM. I added another to it, so I'd probably take the one out that I added to it. But you get what I mean. I wouldn't really just take the RAM out of this to put into a new PC. I would likely try to sell this PC to recoup some of the funds it will cost to get the PC that I would really want to run Farming Simulator 25. Now, realistically, the reason why I'm saying that my PC could probably run it is it really could run it. The problem I'm going to have is I don't actually have that much space on my PC. So, bear with me for a minute here. The way that I edit videos is I have a external memory, what do you call it? I'm blanking on the word. But anyway, I have an external drive, basically, memory drive, where I store all of my recordings from OBS. So I've said this a couple times before, and I'll say it again real briefly here in case you're new and wanted to know this answer. I'm on Xbox, so I run all of my recordings through OBS. I have my OBS hooked into my Xbox, to the TV, and then directly to the PC. From there, my Elgato, I should reword that. I have Elgato, my Elgato capture card I'm using, hooked into my Xbox to the TV, and then directly into the PC. So it sends it to the PC. I have it hooked and linked in with OBS, where OBS says, okay, I'm recording this recording right now. I want to send it to this external hard drive, right? And that's the way that I have mine set up. So, realistically, could I do it on the same PC? Yes. The problem becomes, my personal opinion, the problem becomes the storage. I don't have a ton of storage on my PC, and that's the reason why I have that external card, right? And so I send all the recordings to that. And then whenever I'm doing an edit, it really takes everything. My PC literally takes everything to do the one edit, and save that and resave it back onto that external hard drive, right? If I was to do it on the actual PC, it wouldn't work. There's not enough space. So it's kind of a tricky situation that I've got set up there. So in other words, what I'm trying to get at is if I was to install Farming Simulator 25 onto my PC and then install a bunch of the mods, I wouldn't be able to really function or operate and edit. So that's where the problem becomes, right? So if I'm going to get another PC, I want it to be able to do both. I know that's probably not the most realistic statement because a lot of people have two different, PCs. They've got a PC for editing, and then they've got a PC to actual, play the games and things like that. Right now, it's not, unfortunately, in the budget for me to do that, but maybe soon, right? I've been saving up trying to get to a point where that might happen, but at the same time, I've also talked about how I want to get a wheel and, the Thrustmaster stick for the Farm Sim stick or whatever it's called. So those are also things that are on the plate that I want to do. And honestly, right now, I'm kind of in a good spot, even though I would love to have the PC and be able to have the option to all the extra mods and things that you all, get, all the quality of life things that you get that I don't have on console. But I'm kind of in a good spot right now where, like, I've got it set up. It's working well right now. That I think I might want to lean a little bit more towards getting the farm stick and the wheel, I think, first. I know that sounds crazy, but the farm stick and the wheel that I'm going to get are actually compatible with PC as well. So whenever I do make that jump, it's not like I have to buy that again. So that's kind of why I'm leaning towards that. We'll see. I don't know. We'll see. The big problem for me with doing that setup, though, is the way that I currently have my setup. I'm going on a rant here, gang, so just bear with me for a minute. Like I said, bear with me. The way I have my current setup is, I'm kind of sitting in a chair with my microphone on like an arm that's further away from where my PC is, so I can actually see my TV properly. So I'd have to figure out something for the steering wheel and the farm stick to actually utilize that, because I really can't connect it to my table that my PC sits on, because that I really wouldn't be able to see the TV then at that point. Right, so I'm gonna have to figure something out for all of that, but nonetheless, that's kind of where I'm at right now. So we'll see. But yeah, PC definitely in the near, distant future. I will try to be focusing to do that. But it also, means that if I do go that approach, right, I've got to finish all of these series on the Xbox. I can't really transfer them the save. Well, maybe I can. I don't think I can, though. I can't transfer the save data from the Xbox to the PC and continue on from there, right? So I would have to either start over, or I'd have to be kind of going back and forth, and I'm not quite sure I'm really set up, or I'm really prepared, or I really have the time to run one series on the Xbox, then unhook everything, and then run one series on the PC, right? So anyway, we'll see where all that goes, but that is a long-term milestone for us to aim for, is getting a PC. So they're pricey, man. PCs right now are not cheap because RAM is so expensive right now, right? It's all these AI data centers. They're just taking up all the RAM, so the RAM's just outrageous right now. All right, so we're almost done with this, and what I'm going to do after we're done plowing this field up is I'm actually going to put a worker on plowing the field over here behind us, the cornfield that we harvested in the last episode. Then I'm going to grab the case, or the case, why do I keep calling it the case? The Fiat. We're going to grab the Fiat, and we're going to get the stone collector and pick up the stones off this field, and then we can get ourselves in a situation where we can drill this field. Now, what are we going to put in here? I don't know, we've been going pretty heavy on cotton, and I like that, but I think we need another field that's not cotton, because we've got quite a few now that are cotton. We've got 4 fields that are cotton. I feel like that's sufficient for the time being. I think any more than that, we're going to be having months where we're struggling to have anything to do. Now, we do have $42,000 in the bank account, which means we can, if we want to, buy another field right now. I don't think we'll do it today. We will be doing it soon, but I don't think it'll be today. I think we'll be waiting a little bit before that happens. But soon enough, we'll be buying another field. Now, after that, after we buy one more field, honestly, I think at that point, maybe 2 more fields. At that point, we will shift our focus, as I've mentioned, to getting prepped and working on the dream home. Now, I've kind of made my decision, I think, on what dream home I want to do. Since we're allowed, or we're figured out, there's multiple ways, I guess, for us to get to the island. I'm going to do the farmhouse on the island, which is what the intention of the initial goal was. So because of that reason, I'm going to put, I think, a log cabin out there. So there's a log cabin that came with not the most recent DLC, but the Highlands expansion. There's a log cabin that came with that, a constructible log cabin that came with that. I'm going to do that. It's not a large home by any means. It's a medium-sized home, probably, maybe even medium to small-sized home. But honestly, I love a log cabin. I love a log cabin. So for me personally, that would be a dream home for me. It would be a log cabin, and I like the idea of it being on an island within the trees themselves, overlooking, the ocean, lake, whatever this is, right? So. I like that idea, so that's what we're going to go with. I will show that to you here in just a second as well. You get the rest of this field plowed up, get the worker started over there, and I will show you what I'm talking about. Now, I guess the other thing we could consider buying here soon is that we've got to buy the land of the island itself, and I think one is cheaper than 40, but the other one's 40,000. So those are going to take a while too, right? Those are going to take a while. So, and then we've got to spend all the money to get it out there, right? That is, I'm going to make 5.8 working with. See if that helps the worker. Okay, so while the worker's doing that, let's go over here and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So, realistically, the goal is I'm going to kind of try to pull the sand here from here and go over to here like this, and then smooth it out. It's going to, at least when I was testing it on that test map, not this map, of course, it cost a lot. I'm like $100,000 to $200,000, if not more, just to get us from here over to there. I think it was even more than that. I think it was like $300,000, at least for me, how I wanted it to be. So. I wanted a little bit of space, but I still wanted it to look realistic, so I had it kind of smoothed down below. The other thing I had thought about doing, actually, when I was working through it, was pulling out some of the land like here, that you can clearly tell that it was man-made here, and then put a bridge across so then the water can still go through. I might go that approach the more I think about it. But anyway, that doesn't really matter right now. We can figure that out at that period of time, right? So here's our constructibles, right? So we've got this log cabin, which I've built this log cabin already before. I built this on our survival challenge, basically. The initial one that we did on FS25. I want to build this one. The buildable log cabin. It's the Highlands Fishing Expansion. So this is the one I want to build. Again, it's a relatively small house, but this is a dream home, right? We're living on an island all by ourselves. I can nestle it right up here against the trees. We can look out, see the beautiful you know, sunset or sunrise, whichever way we're facing. And then we're still, you know, right out the back door. Well, is there a back door? No, there's not a back door. Is there a side door? There's got to be a side door somewhere. There it is. You know, we can just walk into the trees and hang out in the trees if we want some shade, right? So that's my goal, at least, is to do this buildable log cabin. So that's what we're going to focus on for this area. Now, as I mentioned, let's do a quick autosave, of course. But as I mentioned, plot 74 is only 24,000, so we can absolutely buy that, right? Actually, we can technically buy that right now. We can start working on building this across, like I talked about. But to get the whole island, I mean, we're looking at 50-ish thousand bucks, 60,000 bucks, I guess. Yeah, 60,000 bucks. So exactly 60,000 bucks. So you know, it's some money. It's going to cost us some money. Okay, let's get the stone collector, and then we've got to figure out what we're going to put in that field. So we've been utilizing sorghum for the time being, and I think I mentioned in the last episode that I think we're going to start heavily putting in some more crops that allow more straw right now. I want to get some more straw together. We've got one crop right now, that wheat field over there, that can do straw, but I'd like to get some more going. One, obviously, we can use that to feed the chickens, which, speaking of the chickens, they do probably need some food there. But we can use that to feed the chickens. And then two, gives us the opportunity for the straw, so we can actually start making, you know, TMR, etc., and we can start incorporating some of the cows, like I said I wanted to do, right? So those cows are really going to be the thing that helps us get us across the line here to being able to, you know, get 100% fertilization on these fields. A lot of you, and thank you for all of your comments recently. I think I've, well, at least at the time of this recording, not by the time this releases, but at the time of this recording, I think I've caught up to everybody's comments that I've, you know, been a little bit behind on getting to. But a lot of you have mentioned, you know, oilseed radish really is the best way to go about it. The grass, it just takes a lot longer, and you know, you having to roll it, and there's just too many process. There's too much to process there, and really, it would be more beneficial for you just to kind of focus on doing the animals, and I 100% agree with you. That's really what my goal was to begin with, but I wanted to try the grass because a lot of you mentioned that, and it is going to work, but I would have to roll the grass, as I mentioned, and so I think for the time being, I'm just going to focus on oilseed radish. It's a 1 month turnaround. It's real quick. We still get 50% fertilization. It's not perfect, but it's 50%. And then I'm going to start focusing on getting some of the actual cows here on the island, so that way we can actually start utilizing the manure and the slurry, etc., and really start to progress our fields to being in a better state, right? Also, would like to start actually incorporating a little bit more from a greenhouse perspective here as well. That's another way to make us a little bit of extra money. So I'd like to start focusing on that as well. We've got the crickets right now, but I'd like to add some more. You know, I've talked a lot about things I want to add and do, and obviously all these things I do want to add and do, but they're not going to be overnight things, right? It's not like I'm just going to be able to get them done in the next month or so. I'm just kind of talking through where my brain's at and what I'm thinking to you, and hopefully where we're going to go next with the series as we move forward here. Like I said, this series is going to take us quite a while. It's not going to be a fast series. This is pretty much an own the map type of series. I know a couple comments were recently put on that I should, you know, maybe consider doing some kind of a own the map series. Well, I'm 100% for that, but the problem right now is I feel that this series kind of is it's not even kind of, it is a own the map series, right? The part of the rules are you have to buy every single plot of land. So this is a own the map series. So as much as I want to do an own the map series on a different map that's not just, you know, grass fields like this one is, that actually has crop fields, etc., etc., I don't think right now it makes the most sense. I think we should hold off on doing that. So now, a couple other notes. I'm working on some different designs for potential logos for an upcoming series that I've kind of been teasing for a little while now. It's going to take the place of the Can You Survive 25 series and probably have another day. It'll probably have 2 episodes a week. At least early on, it'll have 2 episodes a week. We're going to take a bit of a hiatus from the Can You Survive 25 series. Not that I'm not enjoying that series at all. I am. But I would argue that it is probably my least watched series. So it's time for us to take a little bit of a break there. We're not going to be redoing anything. It's still going to be left off where it is now, but we're just going to take a bit of a break here, probably in a couple of weeks, maybe a little less, maybe a little bit more, but not until July for sure, but I'm not quite sure when in July it'll happen. So, but we'll take a bit of a break there, and with that break, we'll look to incorporate a new series, one that realistically would take the place of the competitive one-tile challenge, right? Now, a lot of you were asking about the one-tile challenge, and it'll be back. It will be back. When I do bring it back, it will likely not be a competitive one. It'll likely be like the first iteration of it. It'll be another one-tile challenge that I come up with somewhere on a different map. Probably some different rules to it, some different ideas, and some other things we incorporate just based off of things we've learned and things that went well, didn't go well, things people liked, didn't like, and try to continue that process. But that'll be a little ways down the road. I also saw some comments of people wanting to potentially see another version of the Vintage Survival. I'm 100% down for doing that. I love Vintage Survival series that we did. I love the Vintage Survival series that we did, excuse me. Loved it so much, and all of you loved it so much, as a matter of fact, that we actually ended up making that series go longer than I had initially anticipated as well. So, I mean, I'm excited to do one of those again sometime soon. I've also kind of been, I shared some images recently to my members on the channel. Just another perk they kind of get of some different designs I've been working on for some logos, for some ideas that I've had for a series potentially upcoming. Maybe it's going to be the one that, comes here in July. Maybe it won't be. I don't know for sure. And the what I sent to them or what I showed to them may not be the final product. It absolutely 100% could change, but at least, the work in progress type of stuff, I like to share that with them from time to time. It's a perk they get. So we'll see. We'll see. I don't want to give anything away yet. If you're a member, you probably already know at least two of the ideas that I've got in my brain, because you just saw that post. If you haven't watched it yet, or you haven't watched it, if you haven't checked it out yet, it should be out there for you as a member. What else? At the time of this recording, it is the 25th of June. I'll get paid Monday, I guess. I'm on, so I've said this before. I work in project management. I work for a small, tiny little software company that's owned by a massive, massive company. But our company itself is very, very small. But we're in the banking realm. I've been in the banking realm most of my career, most of my life. And so I'm on banker. If any of you are a banker or have been a banker before, you know how this works. But I'm on the banker schedule where you only get paid twice a month. It's normally like the 15th and the 30th or the 31st of the month. So I think Monday I get paid. So when Monday's paycheck comes in, I plan to buy that other t-shirt that I talked about. Remember I said I got one t-shirt. I'm very happy with how it turned out, but I wanted to make a few minor modifications. I don't think it's going to cause anything harmful, but I still want to make sure that what I'm putting out there is good quality for all of you if you're interested in buying one. So I'm going to buy another shirt then with my next check and make sure that that's good. So as long as that is fine and I get the shirt, I don't know. It's probably going to take a couple weeks for me to get the shirt, but as long as everything looks good on that and I'm happy with it, then the shop will be opened up somewhere probably around the time when the new series starts, I would think. Somewhere in mid-July. I mean, well, it depends, really. I don't know how long it's going to take to get the shirt here, but we'll see, right? But that's in the works, man. That's in the works. I'm really excited about the shop. I really am, for multiple reasons, mostly selfishly, honestly. I said before that really the main reason I'm making it is because I wanted some cool farming merch shirts to wear, and I think what I've created are pretty cool, personally. Hopefully you do, too. And that's the reason why I'm putting it out there as a shop, is in case you do think it's cool and you like it, then you've got the opportunity, or you're welcome to buy it. I'm not making much money off of it at all. I'm making a very, 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 very small amount of money. And the only reason I'm making a very, very small amount of money is because I want to give the ability for me to give, a discount every now and then, whenever it's like the anniversary of the channel. And then I want to give discounts to the members, right? Since they pay a little extra to become a member on the channel, I want to give them a bit of a perk, and that perk will be a discount off on the shirt itself. So Or those shirts themselves, I guess I should say. So, anyway. All right, I don't know how many stones are in there now, but I think this only holds 100,000. We're at 13,000 liters of stones right now. So, yeah, we're going to fill that up pretty quickly, honestly, right? That thing's going to be full before you know it. All right, so the worker has completed that field over there. So the next thing I want to do is put the worker on drilling that field with some oilseed radish. We want to get that field in a state for oilseed radish. I'm not going to pick the stones up right now on that field. I don't think we really need to right now. Looks like I need to go around the headland here a little bit too. They missed a bit. Even though I turned that working with down, it looks like it's still a little bit was missed. So let's do that really quick, and then we'll put the worker on drilling this field with some oilseed radish. Now, what are we going to put in that field right there? We've got wheat, so I probably am going to do barley, I think. I could do oat, but again, I want to put stuff in that, you know, the chickens can eat. So, you know, we're kind of limited to a few things there. Sorghum is one of them, but sorghum doesn't really give us the straw that we want or require, right? So the other thing I want to do with this money, which is really the reason why we haven't bought a piece of property yet, is I really want to buy a harvester. I really do. I want to try out this palletizer, see how it goes. A lot of you have told me, and rightfully so, to be careful with it, that you've had some issues in the past where you got more than you were supposed to. I'm going to try my best to pay attention to that. But I want you all to keep me honest, right? If you see something that it doesn't look quite right, and I might just be, you know, going through the motions and not really paying attention to it like I should, make sure you call it out to me, right? I don't want, as I mentioned before, and that's why we made the modifications we did, I don't really want to cheat this series as much as possible, right? It's kind of hard to be perfect all the time with it, but, you know, if I make a mistake like selling the silage, right, we figure out a way to offset that a bit by giving ourselves a bit of a, how do I want to put it? A bit of a, I guess a bit of a fee. I was trying to find the word I'm looking for, but fee is exactly kind of what I was trying to get at. I don't think it's the exact word I was looking for, but it's good enough. Just having a bit of a brain fart there for a minute. It happens, gang. It happens. Lots and lots going on. All right, so we've got that going to the oilseed rash. I think the problem becomes, though, we only have one drill, and that drill is what we would need for wheat or barley. So this is not going to work. All right, maybe we don't do that then. How much longer until that wheat field's ready to harvest? Maybe not next month, but probably the following month. It actually looks like this one's going to be ready the next month, which we literally just put that in there recently, so that's good. Okay, so let's take a look and see what else we can do then in the meantime, because I've got the worker doing that. We've got peas, which, again, are November all of a sudden, but whatever. I'm still blaming Krusty. It's Krusty's fault. It's always Krusty's fault. You know what? Let's do this. So peas, which we already checked. We've got sorghum, and then sunflowers, which we know we have some in the palletizer already as well. So sunflowers, which are September, October. Really, it's March, but September, October is better. The price isn't terrible right now, but yeah, I'm gonna hold off on that. And then sorghum, really bad, so we'll hold off on that too. We do know that the chickens are going to need more food, so I will take one of these pallets over here to the chickens. Unfortunately, I'd like to just sell this sorghum if at all possible, but, you know, the chickens are going to produce us quite a bit of money too with the eggs, right? And eggs are going to be good here soon, right? November, I think, for eggs, I'm pretty sure. You would think how many times I use eggs at this point that I'd have it all memorized, but, you know, I still don't. Yeah, November. Okay. Okay, so that's good. All right, so what else can we do? Well, I think we can do some more maintenance type of stuff around the yard here while we wait. We've got some wool we can bring over to Grandma's Knitwear. I think there is a pallet of clothes in there from Grandma's Knitwear, but again, I don't think it's going to be a good time to sell that, so we probably won't be selling it today. I'm not even going to look at it because I know for a fact it's not going to be a good time to sell it. It's going to be one of the lowest portions of the year right now, so we really want to wait till April, May for that. And we've got $42,000, so we're not really per se struggling for money, right? We certainly could use some more money, but we're not really struggling for more money. Probably could drop some of this grass back down as well, because it looked like they are out of the regular grass at this point. There's still plenty of grass in... Well, I say out of regular grass. There's still plenty of grass in there. But in regard to... you know, the trough, the trough is starting to run out of grass. There's plenty of meadow grass. There's plenty of grass in the trough, really, for another couple months. But, you know, we might as well do it, right? Why not? While we're here. Now, the thing I don't know is if on this map, similar to the map we did for the one-tile challenge, if the cows only need grass. I don't think that would be the case, but I don't really know. I haven't, unfortunately, watched Crusty's episode for a little while. I need to catch up on him. I did catch up on his triple threat challenge yesterday, actually. So he's doing pretty well. He's doing really well, as a matter of fact. Alright, it is not going to allow me to unload these. I'm going to have to unload them by hand, but whatever. Now, the thing we have to figure out here soon, too, that I'm just now, you know, realizing, I know I've talked about it recently, but I've kind of forgot about it all of a sudden until just now. When we get this straw, when it's time to harvest, we don't have any way to pick up the straw right now, right? We want a way to pick up the straw, but we don't really have a way to pick up the straw right now. So, we are going to have to buy something for that. So maybe that's more important even than a harvester right now. Because we want to get to a state here where we can actually start getting some cows incorporated. And really, I'm putting the cows in the main yard area up there. That's a good portion why we didn't really finish everything as far as, you know, putting asphalt down. The second reason is really because of we don't need to spend that money on something that, you know, we're not going to use for a little while, right? Alright, looks like they're full, so I'm just going to bring this last one over here. We'll leave that there, and I'm going to unhook this. We'll just leave that there. Not going to harm anything. They'll chew through that grass eventually. We've got plenty more grass for them, though, where that comes from. Plenty more. So, alright, so that's done. We know we're not going to sell any of that. Yeah, there's one pallet of clothes there. Ooh, well, it's not done. I literally started talking to you, and I just lost my train of thought. We've got to bring the wool back over here. Z, what are you doing, buddy? Get back over there and grab the wool. All right. So the other thing we haven't looked at yet, and we're going to do that here in just a second, is what's in the used market, if anything. We rarely get lucky. I used to say we never get lucky because we didn't, but then we got lucky a couple of times in recent memory, so who knows? Oh my gosh, we did get lucky. Oh my gosh. Oh, what are we gonna do? We need this. Like, badly. Like, that is such a huge savings. Oh my gosh, we don't have anywhere near that kind of money. And we need this. We need both of those. What are we going to do? There's no way for us to get there. I'd have to sell literally everything. And, I mean, maybe we should. Maybe we should sell everything. We've got so much cotton. I mean, we need that probably more than anything right now than we've ever needed. I mean, I'm actually really tempted to do it. To sell, like, everything. Sell this trailer, sell this tractor. Sell all the crickets, sell the cricket greenhouse. Sell the pallet of wool. Obviously sell both cotton harvesters, which are not really going to bring any money in, but sell them anyway. Can we even come close to getting there? That's the real question. Can we even come close if we sell everything? Which I know people would scream at me if I did that, and rightfully so, honestly. Rightfully so. Sell all the sheep. Start over with a small amount of sheep again. I don't know. I don't think there's going to be any way for us to get there. Truly. How many pallets of peas do we have? And sorghum and everything else. Sell the chickens too, I guess. The eggs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6.5. Ish. 6.5 peas. Now I got to do all this math here, gang. I know people are going to be like, you shouldn't even worry about it, but I am. I really want that. It's only $100 less than what the average price is. So, okay, but still, that's $1,000, right? So we're getting $6,000. That's not going to get us there. I mean, none of these are really going to get us there. I don't think there's a way to get there, gang. As much as I want that, as much as I really, really, really want that, I don't think there's any way for us to get there. The only way we could get lucky is if maybe next month these are all ready to harvest, maybe. But even if they're ready to harvest, like, there's still no way we're gonna get there. There's no way. There's no way. There's no way. So let's just do some basic math. Let's say there's 6,000, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11-ish thousand over there, maybe 12. We know these don't fluctuate all that much. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18,000. We're nowhere close, gang. It's not going to happen. It's not even going to happen. If we sell the John Deere, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. John Deere's worth 65-ish. So that gets us to 100. We're at 116. We're still $150,000 away. Damn. Well, that sucks. I was actually really hopeful. I really was. I was really hopeful that we might be able to find a way to get there, but we're not. Even if I sold all of these buildings I put down that we really haven't used yet, right? I haven't used this building at all yet. We're going to, but I haven't used it at all yet. But even if I sold all of this, there's no way. All right, so let's just get that out of my mind. Let's get that out of my mind. It's not possible to get that harvester, although I'd love to have it. It's not possible. So we'll just completely remove that from our mind. Act like it's not even there. So, having said that, there is this, which I just talked about that we needed, right? Now, it's not the largest in the world. But, you know, it's pretty nice. Which wheels do we like better? I kind of like the Vertesteins here. They're fat. Well, you can get twin wheels. Interesting. Where's the logo at? Where's that at? Oh, back there. I see it. Well, yeah, I'll leave it on there. I don't care. It doesn't cost anything. Drawbar, hydraulic, that's fine. Toggle back door manually. No, I don't need that. We know we need this, right? We know we need this. We don't have a baler. I'm doing baleen on the triple thread challenge. I said I was going to do the forage wagon on this one. We know we need this. Is it the largest in the world? No. Is it going to make a lot of trips? Yes. But we know for a fact we need this. And this is a good deal. It's a good deal. And I'm going to add the silage to adder tank. Even though we're not really doing anything with grass for a little while, I'm still going to add it there. Because eventually we're going to, right? Now, maybe eventually we would do the upgrade by the time we need it, though. I don't know. Doesn't matter. We're going to do it anyway. We own it now. We own it now. Man, that would have been so nice, man. That's exactly what we needed. I think I talked about this in the last episode, or maybe the one before that I would love to see this pop out there. But there's just no way for us to get there, unfortunately, gang. It's just not physically possible. It sucks. It really does suck, because that is what we need so badly. We really, really need that. But, yeah, we just don't have the money for it. There's no way for us to get there. There was no physical way for us to get there. Even if we sold all of the equipment we have, even if we sold everything, there is no way for us to get there. Sold the Fiat or the John Deere. I'd probably sell the Fiat of the two, personally. Stone picker. I mean, we wouldn't get there. We've got a lot of stuff, but a lot of the stuff we have is all the very inexpensive, manual tools, right? Yeah, it's unfortunate, guys, but it's just not gonna happen. It's just not gonna happen. So, I went with my brain and got what I know we're gonna need in the next episode or two, instead of with my heart, which is I wanted that cotton harvester. I said before, the odds are we're probably not going to be able to get another cotton harvester until we at least do one more large cotton harvest, which, in other words, all the cotton that we currently have, until we get these big fields harvested and we make all that money from the close. We're not really going to be able to afford one anyway. It's just unfortunate that it popped out now versus after the harvests were done and we actually had some clothes to go and sell. That would have been a lot nicer, right? That would have been a lot nicer for us, but, it is what it is, right? It is what it is. What are you going to do? Now, we do need to service this, so I'm going to go ahead and service it. I still have not had the chance to talk to Krusty about if I can put a service station of some sort back in the yard area. I'm assuming we can. He might have already done it, like I mentioned. I have not caught up on his island preservation yet. I will try to do that this weekend. The time of this recording, it's a Thursday, right before I'm going to Poker League, which many of you know that I go to poker all the time, right? Okay, no vehicles available. That doesn't seem right. So hopefully this weekend I'll be able to check out his island preservation and see how he's doing and where he's got to over the recent periods of time. 643 to repair it, not bad. Well, we'll go ahead and repair the John Deere while we're at it too. We're not getting rid of the John Deere anytime soon. We want to keep it running as well as possible. All right, well, let's take this back. I'll go put this away, and then we've got to get the other field seeded, drilled. Like I said, I'm likely doing barley, I think. So we'll get that going, and yeah. We'll go from there. right, they are all done. Now, the only thing left really to do, potentially, is to get a roller and roll those fields. I'm not doing that just yet. We will get a roller at some point, even though I hate them. You guys know that I hate them, but we will get a roller at some point, but we're not going to do it just yet. We're going to need more water in that one by the next episode. We'll also need more food for the chickens, more than likely, in the next episode. And that chicken somehow got out of the fence. What are you doing, buddy? How'd you get out here? Anyway, we are going to leave the episode at that point. I hope you enjoyed it, gang. If you did, make sure you smash the like, subscribe button in the case you've yet to do so. Thanks to my members for all of their continued support. If you want early access to videos like this one, there's a link down below. Make sure you check out my second channel. Make sure you check out the Discord if you haven't done so already. You can share progress on anything that you're working on, as well as see anything that I'm working on either channel within the Discord. So, thanks so much for watching. Thanks so much for your continued support, as always. Also, that little bump that happened right here. That's weird, right? See that? I don't know why that's doing that. That's a little weird, isn't it? I'm going to try to smooth it out. I don't know if it's going to do anything, but I'm going to try it. Looks like we didn't actually drill that area right there either. But that bump that happened in the middle there of the, well, I say the middle, was really the beginning of the time lapse, was a little extreme, right? Anyway, I don't know if that's going to fix it or not, but we'll see, I guess, next time. Thanks so much for watching, as always, gang, and I'll see you next time.